What is up? We're back with another Answer the Question. This is what do you really enjoy doing in your off time? / what's your favorite artist of all time and movie? And this is by Caught Jin's Kiss. Wow. What do I enjoy doing in my off time? That varies. I may play video games, but sometimes I get sick of video games or the repetition of a video game. So I'll read. Phil, why don't you hand me maybe a book? Earth 1 Superman.
That's the one I was looking at.
Hand me that Art of War.
Oh, shit. That versatility, baby. Books are good.
I do stuff like this.
Read more.
Comic books. Learning.
Graphic novel.
All the way through. So I do enjoy reading. I try to get hardback books just because I know we have such great technology allow you to read stuff on your phone all the time. But cell phone screens drain, computer screens, TV screens drain my eyes hella bad. That's why sometimes you'll see me with glasses on. So I still like reading from a paperback.
Still puts a strain on bright, dark, whatever.
Yeah.
The screen.
So I still like reading paperback. But I'll game, I'll read, I'll chill, which I think is probably one of the best things I like to do. I like self-reflection.
Oh yeah, you need that. You need it.
Self-reflection is very important to me. So,
if not daily, weekly.
Yeah, I'm more of like an every 2-3 day type person, depending on what I got going on. If I have more free time, I self-reflect a lot. But if I'm actually like in a routine of getting up, going to work, coming home, playing with kids, you know what I'm saying, whatever, reacting, whatever, then it kind of just happens every 2 days. Sometimes if I'm doing a boring job at work, I'll self-reflect then.
Yes. Or if what you're doing doesn't require a lot of your brain capacity.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing something repetitive or something that doesn't require your undivided attention. Like if safety is involved, undivided attention. If there's any kind of risk, undivided attention. But if you're doing something like, making sure a machine doesn't fall apart and it's generally, 90% reliable, you don't have to like watch it like you watch, a 2-year-old or a baby, toddler,
Right.
A lot of jobs that don't require a lot of, brain capacity, I can zone out while still doing what I need to do.
Super
And reflect and plan and think about stuff. Freaking sing a song in my head, make time go by.
Multitasking.
Multitask, you got to.
Hardcore.
And the good thing about mentally multitasking is you strengthen all the little different connections you got there. All the synapses are always firing when you're doing multiple things. If you're just sitting there watching a machine and making sure it don't fall apart, you're literally just staring.
Yeah. So
you're watching the grass grow.
Basically. So those are kind of things I like to do in my off time. I love to create things in my mind, which is why I'm trying to get to the point to where I can bring them to the screen. I've been sitting on a lot of stuff and it's still there. I thought maybe it'll go away after a while, but it's still there. It's still there. So I figured I need to get it out.
Yeah, don't hide it under a bushel.
Yeah, I have to do that, and once that happens, then I can make room to create more stuff.
And while you're utilizing what you created and creating a way to display it, you're also exercising your creativity, which will make you create more stuff.
Create more and more.
It literally, when you have creativity or any gift, ideas for that gift or ways to make it better, fall in your lap.
All day.
Literally. All day.
Now, artists of all times. That's not a question that could be answered. Simply because as you grow, if you are self-reflecting, if you do desire growth, your taste in artists is going to change. Unless they're growing along, like right along with you and just doing the same exact thing you're doing, But that doesn't really happen because they're a different person. So if I was to say at this very moment who my favorite artist is, and no disrespect to all of the legends I've listened to throughout all the time, but I would actually say Big Crit is my favorite artist. He is highly relatable, which is important to me. He has messages, thought-provoking messages, self-reflection messages, not just towards himself, but also making you do that for yourself. And that's important as well. Like, that's why I'm always about lyrics.
Oh, man.
Beat, cool. Type of flow, cool. But what are you saying? What am I going to pull back from this song
What do I gain from wasting? What do I gain from listening to this 3 to 5, sometimes 9, 10-minute song? Because if the answer is, I don't know, or maybe it's this, then you wasted that time. You will never get that time back.
Time, currency.
The most valuable thing
important, in life. Very important. So, therefore, when I cut your song on, I'm listening for what I'm going to pull away from it that I can either apply or teach to somebody else. And Big Crit does that. Now, if I never had lived down south, Big Crit would probably be less relatable. But since I did live in the dirty south, he's even more relatable for me. So, and some of y'all know I'm a big Bone Thugs Harmony fan. I love Lupe Fiasco. Like, I love an array of artists.
Honestly, I feel like if you're honest with yourself, or if you're true to your personality, you could probably easily have a rotating 50, top 50. Like, you can easily, because if you're to the point where you listen to a certain artist for their content, 9 times out of 10, if it's their honest content, it won't change. It'll either get better or it'll stay consistent.
Right, bingo. See,
if you have a strong delivery and a strong message, you will always have a strong delivery and a strong message. If it's honestly from you, from your heart, if you're writing like somebody's writing for you, then it'll change. You'll be all over the place.
So, I mean, think about it. It's across the spectrum.
Yeah.
I have to say Big Crit, but then if I say, and that's just, I'm putting it in that perspective of hip hop rap. Like, if I was to say rock, I'll say Avenged Sevenfold. You know what I'm saying? If I was to move over to pop, I'm gonna say Michael Jackson. If I was, you know what I'm saying? When I would, if I'm gonna jump across, that's why that's such a that question is, it's too broad.
It is.
Way too broad.
And honestly, you would have to break it down to subcategories.
Yeah.
And like the type. Because even subcategories branch out. You could say, oh, well, there's hip hop, but then there's, rap and R&B, but then there's like 1,000 different types of rap, whether it's regional, whether it's, the actual content that they're talking about,
like
between club, party, conscious,
I mean, think about it. I've been exploring UK, you know what I'm saying, Japanese,
which
Korean.
Branches out even more from each branch.
So now I'm getting more artists who do the things that I like, and they're way away from me. So they're going to start being entered into this category.
That's what I'm saying.
So
you can
it's a very broad,
have a rotating top 50.
It's a very, very broad spectrum. But like, I'm just letting you know, if you listen to Big Crit across his career, then you'll begin to understand. Because if you would ask me before I knew who Big Crit was, I might say something like DMX. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So that's why it's such a broad.
That's a very
favorite movie, also broad. So I'm going to give you 5 movies. 5 favorite movies. Only movie made me cry like a baby. Mice to Men. Don't know if you've seen that or not, Phill.
I heard of it, but I haven't. I'm sorry, I'm aware of it, but I haven't seen it.
I don't know who one of the actors are. I know his face, but I just can't recall something he played. But Remember Malkovich? Cyrus the Virus? He's playing a retarded brother in that movie. And basically this brother who has I'll say retarded. He's a retarded brother. And he has an issue where he grabs things too hard. Let this story unfold. This older brother is taking care of this brother, and they're trying to find work, make a living, and he's basically on his heels all the time. And it comes down to the fact that he ends up killing a woman, an important woman, because she was like, "You want to touch my hair?"
Oh, wow.
And he got excited. He ended up killing her. Then it comes down to the brother's choice of whether he's going to kill his own brother or if he's going to wait for them to find him and they're going to kill him. So I'm just using this, spoiler alert, but the build-up is what makes the movie. Period. The entire I can tell you that, and you'll still watch it and be amazed. So, The Green Mile is my next movie. I was thinking about this 2 days ago. 2 days ago. The representation of man killing off good in the world.
Oh, man.
Is done so perfectly in this movie. It is done so perfectly. Acting wise.
Man.
Twisting the story. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Everyone got what they deserved except for the one person who didn't deserve to get what he got. Don't cut the lights off, boss. That was a good movie. Next movie. I'm not including action movies in this just because I watch action movies for a different reason. For a different reason. Flight actually sits at the top of this list. Be honest with you. I'm just giving you 5, but if I was to range one, Flight. Flight is your classic movie of I'm in a prison. I need to go to prison to escape this prison. Mm-hmm. Uncontrollable addiction, and it shows the desperation of what it takes for some people to actually fix an addiction.
Yeah.
Because while most junkies and stuff like that are trying to avoid going to jail, it came down to having to go to jail to escape an addiction. So the way that everything played out, him trying to keep his license to pilot, him trying to keep from going to jail, all these different things, and then the way everything was shown in the movie. Like, here he is, they put him in a room, he can't get out of this room, he can't go nowhere, it's stocked full of water and juice, so he can't drink, and then all of a sudden that door's open.
Opens up. Mini bar. Bottles on bottles on bottles on bottles on bottles on bottles on bottles.
And then they show that he sees it. He's like, nah. And then it gives you the reminder of what you're doing this for, because it shows that airplane flying in the air when he's looking at the window. Mm-hmm. It's just a beautiful freaking movie.
Yeah, that was an amazing movie.
That is an amazing, amazing movie. The Gray also hits this list. Yes, you do, sir. Yes, you do.
I couldn't tell you why I didn't see it. It just didn't work out, I guess, time-wise. I don't know.
I'm going to be honest with you. The Gray, again, desperation. Like, there's not a lot of movies that show true desperation and how people change within desperation. That's why I like these type of movies, because that's going to go into our next video here in a minute. But all these men, all these different personalities, you got nature killing them with weather, with starvation, dehydration, and wolves.
And if you thought that was bad, here's a pack of wolves. I could have done without that. Making this.
It brings. Some people claim to be strong, but they just ain't been put in the right situation yet.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that. So that's why that sits there. For another one.
You definitely set the stage. Talking about desperation and crying like a baby. Speaking of desperation and crying, Southpaw was the one that got me. Like,
I haven't seen Southpaw yet.
I got that. If you want to watch it, I got that.
Everyone told me that was
D-Day
good.
came out. I was like, whatever. But it got to the point where I didn't feel. I couldn't even make myself cry. And as a kid, I could do that. I was like, I'm a super actor. I'm first grade, I can make myself cry. I can think about something and cause that. And like, I would act out scenarios like where I would need to cry and I'd be able to cry. Couldn't do it anymore. I would watch Lion King. I would watch Titanic. Everybody singing. I just started laughing at the part where everybody falling. Like, everything became either a joke or like I was just so desensitized to it that it was like, oh man, that sucks, you know.
Yeah.
And be over there like, you know, drawing or, you know, have it in the background. But recently, it's came back. You know, everything came back. You know, so even my highs are a lot higher. You know, my lows aren't as low because that was the only thing that was getting through was just, you know, the joy and the pain or the sadness or whatever. You know. Anyways, but Southpaw was one of the first movies that I just straight up, because there was several moments. Because it was like you were with him from the beginning to the end. And like you gotta watch. Make sure to remind me to give it to you.
I gotta watch that.
It's like, it's amazing though, because I didn't think that Jake had that. Like, I've seen him, I know he's a good actor, but like that put him in a different category with me. Like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my, like there was a pause. Oh period. Yeah. My period. All caps. God. Like, it's amazing. Anyways, that's number one. I'll give you 5. That was just a little brief thing. So all the rest of these that I mentioned are kind of a big deal because, like I said, I couldn't even force myself to cry for a certain amount of time, a certain period. What else? That's number one in this random top 5 of tearjerkers. I would say what was it? Rise of the Guardians at the end. You see that? With Jack Frost and all the little.
I have not watched that movie.
I got that too. That one is amazing. At the end, it shows why he became Jack Frost, and that one got me. Like, yeah, it's because those are one of those movies that, because there's so many different emotions in each character. You know, they had Santa, they had Easter Bunny. Each one of those represented something in the youth, and basically I'll give you the basic, you know, premise. Bad guy is pitch black. Like, his name is pitch black, but he's the darkness. He represents the unknown, the fear, all that.
Okay.
So, like, he was his strongest during the Dark Ages. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody was scared of everything. Everything was like, you know, it was, well, don't go past, you know, that. Don't go outside the castle. Don't go over there. Don't go outside the village. You know, stay in the light. Everything was always fear of the dark, fear of the unknown. So he was like, I was at my strongest, blah, blah, blah. And he wanted that back. So he had to slowly get rid of all the guardians, which are basically the ones that were sent to protect the children.
Right.
Because the children's belief is what gave everybody their powers. So they were slow. He was slowly, it was working, you know, but Jack was basically the one that like brought it all back, brought everybody's belief back and this and that. And that at the very end it had me
okay.
going.
So we got that one.
Wreck-It Ralph. Hear me out. At the very end, because the movie was all about, one finding it had a dual purpose. It was like finding a purpose, / worth, and then it was also about, trying to want more. Like when does wanting more become too much? He wants. No, for real. Like when he seen homegirl like about to get snatched up, and King Candy / Turbo was like, "Hey, you about to watch her die." Like he said, "Yeah." He said, "You about to watch her die, and everybody else gonna die too." He was like, "No, just me." He was when he was falling. He was like, "I'm back, and that's good." I was like, "Don't die."
So we have Rise of the Guardians and Wreck-It Ralph.
Hey, but another one is Turbo though. While we talking, at the very end, I feel like it's the same thing. It's like don't change, because at his whole thing was, this is who I am, accept me. The moment he doubted who he was at the very end, he tucked up, and his brother was like, "Hey, you never talk, don't talk. That's what I like about you." He said, "That's why I looked up to you." He was like, "Oh snap, I should stay being me. Thank you." Because I was always the one that was positive for everybody else. When I was at my lowest, I had somebody there. You know what I'm saying?
So, I get this right. We have Turbo, Wreck-It Ralph, Rise of the Guardians.
Yeah, and Southpaw. I'm trying to think of a fifth one.
I can't wait for this fifth one.
I'm trying to think of a fifth one. Well, Southpaw is number one, so I'm going backwards.
It doesn't matter.
Pretty much. Yeah, there's no real order. But,
all right, well, I'll give my fifth one.
Go ahead.
I had a few. I'm trying to keep action out that way it's not involved. But,
yeah. Once you said that, I was like, that's easier because
there'll be a bunch of action.
I like action, so there's a lot. The same with comedy. I like action in comedy.
Exactly.
So
I'm trying to keep that stuff out of it, but like, I'm gonna have to go with Shawshank Redemption.
Oh man.
I was looking. I was like, I can't include V for Vendetta because that's partly action.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I can't include Snatch because that's kind of got action in it.
Oh,
but to sit down and watch something again and again and again.
Yes.
Shawshank Redemption. I'm gonna have to put that there in the fifth spot.
I got my fifth on that. All the ones that he said, I also agree with. The ones I saw. But I would say my number 5 would be 7 Pounds.
I've only seen bits and pieces of 7 Pounds.
Man.
I've only seen bits and pieces of 7 Pounds.
It's the way that it unfolds. Like at the very beginning, you're still trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And I like the way that it was put together because it starts off, currently where he's at now. But you trying to figure out why he's, he seems like super depressed. It'll show a flash of, the past and what happened. And throughout the movie it shows different flashes until right around the end it shows it the entire flashback of the reason why he's even doing what he's doing.
Right.
And then it after it shows that, then he's like, okay, it's you got to see it, but basically that part right there when he decided to go ahead and do what he had planned to do. Like, it was like, oh my God, like it hit me. I was like, oh no, he's going to do it. And I think it was the fact that like everything in there, he portrayed, like you felt what you were there with him. Like he took you on a journey. It's like Southpaw. He took you on a journey. The only difference is with Southpaw, the wife, the entire family was involved. And I'm like, I don't even have a kid, and that tore me up. I don't even have a wife, and that tore me up. Like I feel. I can feel as much as I could possibly feel about that, and I still don't think it's enough. So like the only thing left to do is like I don't like man, you know,
7 pounds.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to check it
7
out.
pounds though. 7 pounds is close.
So
That's my 5. And 3 of them is cartoons.
3 of them cartoons.
Hey, that's good storytelling.
We know where Phill sits. So I hope this answers.
I can relate to those. I think that's why.
I hope this answers your question. We have one more question to knock out, so we're gonna end this one here.
Like you old big old kid.
Yeah.
This is good storytelling. I don't care.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph.
Anyway, support your boy on Patreon. Throw more questions out. No big deal. You know, just I don't have any problem trying to answer these.
This was fun.
Exactly. To me, I think it's interesting.
It is.
That's gonna do it. I'm Nixon, Phill,
Peace.
and we out.